Hello friends, from today I am going to start a series on a book written by Acharya Prashant, our beloved Guruji. Name of the book is The Naked Sky of Freedom. So let's start what is said by our Guruji to us. Chapter 1. What is freedom? Questioner. How we get the real definition of freedom? Acharya Prashant. We have to first start with what is slavery. Freedom is not something that comes from outside. Freedom is our basic nature. What comes from outside is slavery. So when slavery is understood and gotten rid of, what remains is your free nature. Words like freedom, love, joy, awareness, do not try to go into them in a positive way. Do not seek their positive definitions. Seek their negative definitions, what they are not. Just try to understand what are the enemies of freedom. Try to understand what covers up freedom. Try to understand what is not freedom and get rid of that. And then what remains is freedom. Are you getting it? You see, you can bring that from outside, which you are not. Can I bring myself from outside? I can only bring external entity from outside, right? I cannot bring my own real nature from somewhere else. And freedom is my own real nature. And that is why governments all around the world, when they want to punish, they take away your freedom. That is what prisons are for. They realize that the biggest punishment that can be given to someone is to take away his freedom. Because your very nature is freedom, and you suffer every moment when your freedom is taken away. Do you see this? So, just realize that what is not freedom. I can see that some of you are deeply attentive here. A few of you are not here. Now, it is quite possible that those who are not attentive, they will take these words unconsciously, and that will create an imprint on their mind that will not be freedom. Whenever you take in something without understanding, that is not freedom. Alright? So what is freedom then? Nothing, just simple, quiet listening, which is your nature. That is freedom. You don't have to do anything in freedom. Additionally, you don't have to really acquire it. You only have to get rid of its enemies. You acquire something only when you have lost it. You can never lose freedom, but your freedom can remain covered with dirt and dust. All you can do is get rid of the dirt and dust, which are the enemies of freedom. Just get rid of the dirt and dust. They are not real. They are all mental. They are like vampires. You throw some light on them and they will evaporate. They flourish only in darkness. And getting rid of all the dirt and dust, you will shine in freedom. Now, we will see the chapter 2. What is unconditional freedom? Question. Is there any difference between freedom and unconditional freedom? Acharya Prashant. We live in bondage. What we call as our normal, usual daily life is a series of bounded movement in time. Our thinking, acting, even breathing is bondage. It is happening as per forces we have no understanding of, and hence no control over. And then suddenly, without our explicit demand, it so happens that this series, that this chain gets disrupted for a while, like a flash of lightning in dark sky. not lasting long, but having its distinct presence and undeniable presence. It didn't last, but it illuminated as long as it was there. And I can't forget that it illuminated. It happens without our explicit one, but it is our deepest desire that the chain of unending slavery be broken. Every instance of freedom from this chain gives us relief and brings us a lot of misery. It gives us relief because it reminds us of our essential nature. It gives us relief, and without that relief, we will go mad. Nobody can exist even in partial sanity without these moments when the mind is free of time, is free of influence. But because we do not want them, but because they just come to us accidentally, these moments are hence accidental, situational. By His grace, bring them to us. In such and such situation, I feel free. In the presence of such and such person, I enjoy a deep inner freedom. You didn't come to that situation. You didn't want to meet that person. You didn't aim to read that book. It happened accidentally. Because it happened accidentally, in spite of giving you a lot of relief, it will not last. It will go away, and that is why the relief will be accompanied by deep misery. It will come, it will illuminate you, and then it will disappear. It will give you a taste of freedom, and then it is gone, and you are back to your old ways. This is conditional freedom. It came to you as grace accidentally. It came to remind you you didn't deserve it, you never asked for it, yet you got a taste of it for free. With every such taste, your longing for freedom increases, your misery increases, the feeling of yoke separation increases. You say, I want that, and I want more of that. I want to abide in that. Always, under all situations, unchangeably. I don't want such a precious thing to be dependent on anything. It must be unconditional. Unconditional means under all conditions. What I feel in this room, what I feel with this book, the same meditativeness must be always available to me. I have found a lover. Why can't he be unconditionally, always, eternally be with me? You wouldn't have said this without his first glimpse. And the first glimpse is always conditional. Always, it is given, it is bestowed. Conditions are created in which you can get the first glimpse, because you by yourself will never want it. So conditions push you without your consent. With every passing instances of conditional freedom, you want more and more of unconditional freedom. You then create rather situations, then get created through you, which become more conducive to your freedom. Your very instrument then becomes aligned towards creating situations for freedom. You stop relishing slavery. Wherever you see slavery, you do not want to be there. And wherever you see freedom, you want to be more and more there, continuously there, unconditionally there. You stop having the capacity to tolerate rubbish. You lose all taste for slavery under all conditions, even in the most tempting conditions. Now all you want is that lightness, that sorrowlessness. When that becomes your very nature, when you have nothing left in you which resists that, when no part of your mind wants to escape from that, then what you have is unconditional freedom. Now, I am that already. Always it is under that condition, under that situation that saints have come to say that now we need no practice. no penance and no austerities. That we are there, firmly established there, unconditionally there. Conditions will now keep changing, but my seat is not going to change. Remember, you will be brought to freedom again and again, whether you want it or not. You are destined to be free. Freedom is compulsory. And if that freedom does not move towards unconditional freedom, then your misery will be very deep, very, very deep. The ones who do not act in spite of knowing there is no suffering like theirs. Better than them are the ignorant ones. That is why it is said, ignorance is bliss. The one who knows and yet do not have the faith to act, sorrow is all theirs. When you see freedom, when you get freedom, ask more of it. Allow yourselves to dance to its tune. Allow yourselves to be taken in by its flow. Allow yourselves to be charmed by it, to be captivated by it. And it is absolutely charming when it is there. You know that. You know how beautiful it is. Allow that beauty to overpower you. Surrender to that beauty. Don't resist it. The more you surrender to its charm, to its beauty, to its fascination, the more you will get of it. And then you will not be dependent upon this and that, upon conditions to bring it to you. And moving, a day will come when you will start living it. A day will come when you will become freedom itself. There will be nothing left in you which is reminiscent of bondage. You will be freedom itself. You will search for bondage within you and you will not find it. Such great joy. You may even decide at times to try to be a slave, and you will find that it is not possible for you now. I am trying to show hard, to adjust, to tolerate, to at least act like a slave for a while. But it is simply not possible. That is unconditional freedom. Even you are helpless against yourselves, then forget about others making a slave of you. Even you cannot make a slave of yourself. You are unconditionally free now. The method, if I may so call it, is to move towards light when you see it. That is the only method. When you see light, move towards it. That is the only way to get more light. When you get freedom, move towards it. That is the only way to be unconditionally free. Seek light, see light, and finally be light. Those who seek it, they necessarily see it. Those who see it, they move towards it. And ultimately, they are it. So seek light, see light, be light. So thanks friends. We will end our video here, and in the next video we will continue on making series on this book. Thank you.